What up, nation? Raider OG. Weather is a little bad, so I'm not outside today. If you're new here, I appreciate you stopping by. I am a long time Raider fan, 40 plus years, in fact. Been a Raiders fan since the early 80s. So, if you're into hearing what a fan's point of view is on this team that we love and cherish so dearly, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think about the content. I read every comment and I respond to them all. All right, let's get into it. So I wanted to talk to y'all because I'm pretty sure everybody's been hearing about the Raiders are getting sold off bit by bit. And I wanted to talk to y'all about that, give y'all my opinion and my point of view on that. And I think my point of view is actually kind of interesting, being a lifelong Raiders fan, 40 plus years. Born and raised in Southern California, also a fan of the Dodgers as well as the Los Angeles Lakers. However, I'm football first. It's always Raider Nation till I die. So I wanted to kind of give you what my thoughts are on the selling of the Las Vegas Raiders. Emotionally, people hear selling pieces of the team and immediately think, oh, hell, here we go. Corporate Raiders. The Davis family legacy is dying. But logically, there's a very real argument that this could be the best thing that's happened to the Raiders in decades. First things first, let me clear this up. Mark Davis is still the controlling owner. A lot of fans are reacting like he sold the franchise outright, but that's not what happened. Reports say the recent 25% ownership shift most likely came from minority investors selling their stakes, not Mark giving up control himself. He still reportedly holds about 36% and remains a controlling owner of the team. Don't worry about that, at least not yet. This is less Mark Davis is gone and more, the Raiders are evolving into a modern ownership structure. I mean, let's just keep it a buck. The NFL is actually becoming way too expensive for traditional family ownership. This is probably the biggest reality Raiders fans don't want to acknowledge. The Raiders are now being valued at around $10 billion. Old school family ownership worked when teams were worth millions. Now the franchises are basically multinational corporations. The Cowboys, the Rams, the Eagles, Niners, these teams operate like global businesses with elite infrastructures, analytics departments, private equity relationships, media partnerships, international branding, real estate empires, and massive liquidity, which is something that we know the Raiders had not had until they moved to Vegas, basically, and still struggled with that. The Raiders under Al Davis were football first. Modern NFL ownership is empire first. That's uncomfortable for old school fans, but it's a reality. Take it from me, that is very uncomfortable for old school fans like myself. Now, let me shift a little bit and kind of take it to the Dodgers. The Dodgers went from Frank McCourt's chaos and instability to the Guggenheim ownership group with Magic Johnson and elite investors. I didn't know what to make of that when it first happened, but here we go. Being a Dodgers fan, the results are proven. The Dodgers became financially aggressive, analytically modern, which I think is key, internationally branded, player development focus, which is also key, infrastructure driven, and championship level stable. That goes without any dispute at all. That ownership group completely transformed the organization. And now my Lakers are reportedly giving into a similar ownership ecosystem with deeper investment influences and modernized business operations. So they're basically going from the Buss family to this corporate model that seems to be doing pretty well. Sports is changing. The teams that refuse to evolve their teams are getting left behind. Another huge point that I like to make is Mark Davis may actually know his limitations, and honestly, Raiders fans may not want to hear that, but self-awareness is in ownership is rare. Al Davis was a football genius for his era, but towards the end, the organization became isolated from how modern football evolved. Mark Davis has actually shown more willingness to bring in outside expertise. I'll give you some examples. Tom Brady's ownership involvement, Tom Wagner and the Knighthead influence, Silver Lake investment connections, hiring respectable football people, modern business partnerships, embracing analytics and infrastructure more than the old Raiders ever did. Maybe Mark Davis realized the Raiders can't compete financially and structurally with the modern NFL powerhouses alone. I mean, look at the Aces. People clown Mark Davis consistently, but look at what happened with the Aces. They have an elite facility, aggressive investments, star treatment, championships, organizational stability. That did not happen by accident. Mark has actually shown he can succeed when he surrounds himself with strong people and modern infrastructure. He's not the decision maker like Al Davis was. He's getting people that are smarter than him in the room. The Aces might actually be a preview of how Mark Davis wants to run the Raiders moving forward. Hopefully, man, if that's a brand new team, and they're already more successful than the Raiders have been in the last decade, just in the last few years. Not all investment groups are good, of course. Obviously, I am a little concerned about this, but looking back at the success of the Lakers and more specifically the Dodgers, I have, some room to be optimistic, but there are some potential concerns. Profit first mentality, we know how that goes. That's a big thing for, a lot of fans. They're basically like, I'm here in Texas. The Dallas Cowboys are a good example of that. They basically are in entertainment first. They don't really care about winning. At least that's the appearance that it gives. Anyway, so yeah, that profit first mentality, disconnect from Raider culture. That's the one thing that I know as Raider fans, we are the most concerned about. The Raider Nation, commitment to excellence, just win, baby. That culture. The corporate sterilization of the brand is not something that we're looking forward to. Those PLS stadium pricings getting worse because of that profit first mentality. The Vegas tourism focus over diehard fans and losing that outsider Raider identity that we all have grown to love from our team. Of course, that's, the biggest fear that most fans have, and I get it. I'm right there with you. The Raiders were never supposed to feel like a hedge fund, of course. The question becomes, can the Raiders modernize without losing what makes them the Raiders? Another angle that I want to talk about a little bit is Tom Brady's involvement. I think that changes everything. Some Raider fans still don't fully grasp how massive that is. Because of Tom Brady, the Raiders now have billionaire investors, private equity influence, entertainment executives, of course, Tom Brady himself, tech money and media money, all connected to the Raiders. That's not the same franchise structure we saw 10 years ago. The Raiders are becoming one of the NFL's most financially connected brands. And I just want to leave y'all with this. The Raiders have spent 20 plus years trying to win the old way, while the rest of the NFL evolved around them. Maybe the ownership evolution is uncomfortable, but maybe uncomfortable is exactly what this franchise needs, man. Anyway, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. And as always, just win, baby.